Hi, this is Jeremy Moskowitz, Group Policy MVP and founder of PolicyPak software. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use PolicyPak's item level targeting, just like the group policy preferences, to dictate exactly when and where a particular PAK's settings should apply. So let's go ahead and take a group policy object. I'm going to link it over to my entire domain, which would theoretically affect everybody. So if I were to call this Manage WinZip with PolicyPak, okay, and I click Edit here. If I were to go on the user side and go to PolicyPak Applications and go to New Application, you can see I've got a bunch of packs ready to go. But for this demo, I'm going to talk about WinZip just to keep ourselves focused here. And what I want to do is click on this item, and let me go ahead and set something simple like passwords. And maybe I want all of my Windows 7 machines to get 7 characters, and also lock down the cameras tab. So I'll go ahead and disable the whole tab in the target application for WinZip. While I'm here as well, I might as well go ahead and check all these checkboxes and right click and hide this guy and disable this guy. I love showing that part off. But the real point of this demonstration is here in the PolicyPak button. We now have an item called Enable Item Level Targeting and also Edit Item Level Targeting Filters. So let's go ahead and select Enable Item Level Targeting, and when we do, we get a message making sure that we're using the latest version of PolicyPak. We'll just go ahead and say yes. And we'll then edit the item level targeting filters. So if you're familiar with the item level targeting editor for the group policy preferences, you are going to feel right at home right here. There are gaggles of categories of stuff where you can say only make these settings occur when the following things are true. So you're welcome to poke around here. I do talk about this in excruciating detail in my popular group policy book. But long story short, I'm going to go ahead and say whenever the operating system is Windows 7, we're going to set the minimum password length to 7. It's just as easy as that. Maybe I'll also create a new item for WinZip that says we want to do the same thing, but for Windows XP, we'll make it 10 characters. So in order to do this, we will enable item level targeting, and we'll go ahead and specify that this will be for the operating system when it's XP. So we're targeting very specifically for the operating system. And I just want you to see very quickly here all the major categories of things you could do. You could do it based on if it's a desktop or if it's a laptop. You could do it if a person's part of a security group, or IP range. All sorts of fantastic ideas here. So I'll go ahead and check all these checkboxes. And this time in XP, I will go ahead and hide and disable the first two. Okay, so XP is a little bit different here, and I will lock down the Explore Enhancements tab on XP. I'll do this one more time, and I will once again make a settings change here for my terminal servers. Maybe on my terminal servers I want them super secure or whatever it is. And I only want to, let's see, maybe I'll check these two, and I'll hide this guy, and I'll disable this guy. Okay, so I'm making some settings changes there as well. So once I've got that, actually while I'm here, I'll also disable the System tab. So now that I'm here in this particular item, I want to enable item level targeting and the filters, and I want to pick when I am using any terminal server session. So gosh, how can you keep it straight? You know, you've got 3 WinZip or later packs here in line. How are you going to remember it? Well, it's pretty easy. You're simply going to right-click over, and you're going to edit the description. So in the description field, you're going to put something useful for yourself. So I'll put ILT when it's Windows 7 for the first one. For the second description, I'll pick ILT equals WinXP. And for the third description, I'll put ILT equals terminal services. Okay? Now, before we even do this, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and see what we can see in the reports. So you can see here that the GPMC reports actually show you the description field name right there. So you can tell you'll get these particular settings. Okay, these particular settings for that particular line item. Okay, and you're welcome to try this on your own. Okay, so now let's go ahead and go over to my first computer, and we'll run GP update. We'll go over to my XP computer here. We'll also run GP update. And we'll go over to our third computer here, and we will also run GP update. Okay. So to see this in action, the first computer is a Windows 7 computer. We'll go ahead and run WinZip, and if all goes perfectly, what we should see is that we've got the password configuration strength set to 7. Exactly right. And we've got the cameras tab grayed out. Exactly what we expected. Item level targeting figured out that this was a Windows 7 machine. Let's go over to our XP machine. Do you remember what we specified there? We specified password strength of 10. So if we go to options configuration, boom, 10. You can see what we've locked out is different on XP than it was for Windows 7. We used item level targeting to specify exactly what we wanted to do. And if we go over to our final machine, let's go ahead and run the published version of XenApp, from WinZip rather, from XenApp. And so what we'll see here is that this will come down published from the XenApp server, and because it's a terminal services session, we should see yet other configuration, which we specified as 33. Let's go ahead and see if we get that. Options config, passwords, and there you go. So because we're on a terminal services session, we get different values and different lockdowns, and we specify different minimum password length. So that is item level targeting. If you've ever used it using the group policy preferences, you will definitely be at home here. This is a fantastic feature to ensure that what you set is what they get, and you can be very particular and dictate exactly where to get these settings. So if you've got managers versus developers, or help desk versus admins, whatever you want, you can be incredibly targeted, which is why it's called item level targeting. If you have any questions, we're here for you. Thanks so very much, and talk to you soon.